Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Thursday, and that means we are so lucky to have the three amigos. How you doing, Dion?
Howdy, doing great. Ready for round two.
Awesome. And Matt, how are you?
Round one was mind-bending, so I'm very excited to do this one.
Yeah, round one is important because I'm going to get all of my experts, and then I will do a video kind of blending the averages. Yeah. But I think it's very clear after doing 7 or 8 of these that we have supply destruction.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that probably means that the price deterioration that people were hoping for, not coming, because supply and demand's undefeated. And if there's no supply and half the demand, it's still too much demand.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we're headed.
Agree 100%.
But what I want to do in this video is I want to talk to the one rental at a time fans. I want to talk to the people that are really willing to do the work. I want to talk to landlords that own 1 or more rentals. I am not talking to fans of reventure consulting who want to be scared into doing nothing. I want to talk to the people that are interested in doing the work, because I have great news for you. I believe we are entering the equivalent of a stock pickers market. And I want to define that for folks that don't know what I mean. A stock pickers market means it's very hard. It's very hard. It's not the market where you buy the index and just hold on. It is the market that is dead money. The index goes nowhere. Mm-hmm. But if you do the work, you can find amazing deals. This is, I believe, the next decade, because of video one, because of no supply, you're going to have to do the work. And I'm excited. I am probably more excited for the next year or two than I was even in 2010. I was buying at ridiculous levels in 2010, but I will admit to being a little scared because, like, why is nobody else buying? And where's the money going to come from? But I'm excited. I'm hopefully proven now to be disciplined and focused. And I think, yeah, dude, it's going to be a stock pickers market, meaning the people that do the work to buy rentals are going to create great deals, because we don't care what the interest rate is. It could be 8%. We're just going to find great deals. We're going to write great offers. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll go to Dion first.
Well, I'm going to try to get the analogy because I'm not a stock guy. And this is going to be based on a 30-second class that you guys gave me before we hit record. So a stock pickers market means if buying the index makes more sense, it's not a stock pickers market.
Correct.
It's a stock pickers market when it makes more sense to do the work and find the specific Amazon, Tesla, whatever stock that's going to perform the best.
You're finding the one or the two. You're not just the last 2 years, anybody who bought a flip won, because the market, you're just betting on a rising market.
Right. So I'm going to steal out of one of my favorite books. There was this guy and he had a bunch of single family houses and he saw affordability get really, really bad. So he looked at things like adjustable rate mortgages on large multifamily were probably going to be the next stock to pick.
Yeah.
So he sold a bunch of single family properties and then got into large multi. And then when it made sense, went back. So my strategy has always been buy and hold small multifamily. It's what's worked for me, house hacking. Mm-hmm. But I'm watching the larger multifamily and trying to find things like Convoy, who has 30-year fixed or 40-year fixed rate debt for up to 29 units.
Yeah. That
might be money that I deploy on more than 5 units, which is a complete shift to my strategy because I'm watching the market.
That's awesome. And again, doing the work, right? That's the key. The whole key to real estate investors for the next decade is doing the work every day. You can't, if you're not doing the work every day, you shouldn't invest. I want to say that again. If you're not doing the work every day, you shouldn't, because it is going to be very easy to do bad deals.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Matt, what do you think?
I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope I'm wrong about the market going down 15 or 20%. Honest to God, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm right, because I know how painful it is for people, but I hope I'm wrong, because that means I'm ready. I am dialed in. I've got cash on the sidelines. I got massive cash flow coming in every single month. And we spent the last couple of years creating cash flow, but also doing a lot of, decent size repairs. I've got 6 figures sitting by waiting to do massive projects for when guys that wouldn't return my phone call 6 months ago start calling me in 6 months going, Hey, so you know that project that I never called you back on? As a matter of fact, I do.
Yes.
And
I do.
all of a sudden I can get the material right away. And surprisingly, it's Saturday, but they can start Monday, Mike. It's really good news. So I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope the market absolutely goes through a ton of pain. I hope that Reventure Consulting is right and it drops 50%, because holy cow, I'm then going to be known by my last name in my area if that happens.
You're that guy. He owns the block.
I will buy that much stuff because it's cyclical, and I recognize that it's cyclical. So I think the people that are preparing now, that know their market now, most importantly, do not be comparing prices.
No, it's not.
Do not because I saw that in the last crash, right? Well, this one just a year ago sold for 370. Don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care. How much can I buy it for? What's my rate and what are my rents? That's it. That's all I care about. So the rest of it, I think, like I said, I hope I'm dead wrong. When people say I'm talking my book, then you don't understand my book. My book is cash flow. And I want to buy a ton of properties, even if someone was yelling at me, even if 18%, yep, the numbers work. If I still get a 23% return, yeah, I don't care if it's 50%. I don't care. I care about one thing. I care about return on my capital. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I call it yield. You call it rock, whatever you want to whatever.
Yep. Whatever you call it, it's money.
It's money. Yeah. How hard is my money working? That's simply said. So, Dion, I think you're leading by example. You had this example of a fourplex that I just want to revisit. I have no idea where it sits today. Even if you didn't get the deal, it's what I want people to it's what I want everybody to do. You have a buy box and you look at it every day, probably a couple times a day, right?
Yep.
And you found something to fit your buy box. And then you ran the numbers based on what you consider a great deal. And you wrote it below asking price, right?
Below asking. And when you said I haven't got the deal, there's a caveat. I haven't got the deal yet. It hasn't sold.
Yeah, no.
So at some point, if they become motivated enough, my offer is still sitting there.
Yeah. And this is what I want people to realize. The last couple of years, it became, frankly, standard to worst case, right at asking. And many of you are writing over and waiving conditions. The market was that hot. The market's not going to be that way. It's already not that way in many markets. My followers are telling me. Some markets are still crazy hot. Colorado, Southern California, I keep hearing from. It's coming. It's coming. As rates go up, demand, that's what the Fed is doing. It's trying to destroy demand. And they eventually will. Two things are going to happen. You write great offers, you will either eventually get the deal, or the seller will prove to be not motivated and take it off the market. Those are the only two things that'll happen. That's why days on market are going up. That's why inventory is going to build. That's why price drops are going to happen. Folks, it's been 5 years since I have found a truly motivated seller. It is going to be easier, 10 times easier, 10x easier, but not easy, just 10 times easier to find motivated sellers. And if you are putting lots of lines in the water, because Dion, you told me the other day, we talked about this fourplex and you like chuckled because you had like 3 other offers out or something.
Yeah, I'm doing on average 1 offer a week or so. And that week, I think I had a offer on a burr, offer on a duplex, very rural, and then that fourplex.
Yeah. So again, these just keep writing great offers. And most of you, let me be clear, most of you listening to this or watching this, you as of yet do not know what a great deal is. You've not done the work. It takes time. It takes 60 to 90 days of daily discipline in your buy box to find a great deal. Would you agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, 100%. Dion, a month ago, how many buildings were in your buy box? A month ago.
So I don't know total numbers like that, but a month ago, less.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the official number.
Yeah, because Mike, we're still seeing what Florida and Southern California are seeing still.
Okay.
I haven't, I'm Oh, I'm wishing it in, man.
Yeah.
I want to see some freaking inventory because I am bored.
Yeah.
You know, like literally, I called my agent and I said, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. I'm still alive. I just have not found anything that we can go look at.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, and the stuff that, and there's a couple things that made it to market and they were just ridiculously overpriced. I was just like, that's just not a thing. So it's definitely shifting in some markets, not in all. It will come to ours. But I am anxiously awaiting because, you know, the position that Dion's in is the position that I think I was in probably 9 months ago, where there was enough stuff hitting the market where I was writing an offer once a week.
Yeah.
You know, there was enough stuff hitting, and, you know, 1 out of 4 or 5 of them would get accepted.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, what I want people to take from this is, again, I don't know what it's called. The only analogy is a stock picker's market. The next decade in real estate, you're going to have to fish for the motivated sellers because you should only be writing great offers. It takes work. It's 10x easier, but never easy. It's frankly fun. And real estate agents will write the offer. It's not, you know, like 2 years or a year ago. It's like, hey, we're already 1 of 30 and it's been on 3 minutes. And it's just going to change. And I talked to Matt, the mortgage guy, more and more buyers are getting out. Las Vegas builder, my daily financial news this morning. Las Vegas builder said it is a daily occurrence for him to remove buyers who are no longer qualified.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right now, they still have more buyers than supply, but think about that. You have 100 buyers and you have 10 units. You wash away 50. Now you have 50 and 10. Wash away 50%. Now, eventually,
it's more houses than people.
This is demand destruction.
Yep.
You roll that into supply destruction like video one, and this thing can get hairy pretty quickly. So,
Mike, what are you seeing in your market? I mean, as far as like buy box go, because the other thing that we do too a lot is off market stuff. And so I have seen, that's one thing that I've seen probably triple in the last month is off market stuff.
Yeah. So I'm lucky enough. I can go through my entire market in about a half hour. I've been looking at it so often now. So I'll answer it completely. The high end, which in my market is 7 figures and above, slow.
Yeah.
Slow. Inventory building. We've had 100K price drops, which I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. Years.
Then there's in my market kind of that move up buyer, which is like 500K to $1 million. Slow. Not as many price drops, but inventory is clearly building. And then stuff below that still going really fast. It's just not enough of it.
Right.
And then to your point, off market, I have seen more wholesale deals. So for 2 years, the last wholesale deal I did was February of 21. For what, I guess that's more than a year now, right? So it's 13 months. Yeah. Everything has been retail or worse.
Okay.
Last 2 weeks, I've seen 2 deals that I sniffed at. Weren't quite right, but there was room, just not enough. But more, I've seen more stuff because I'm on every list.
Yeah.
I'm on some lists I didn't even know I was on. And I've seen every day I'm getting notes from wholesalers.
I saw a couple with a $399 handle that would have been a $450 handle, where it was like, okay, that person is going to move that property. The thing is that there's still enough retail interest where that thing is going to sell in 5 seconds, and it's going to go for over ask, and it might even sell for $430, but it's not going for $470. So
yeah, the market is turning. It's turning everywhere. It's slower. Again, many markets like Denver and LA and Miami. Wow. It's still the demand dwarfs available supply, but demand destruction is happening again. If builders like Greg, right? Greg Dickerson, who I talked to on Monday, who had $30 million in debt and in the last crisis before it rolled over, that'll make you pucker up.
Yeah.
And he's like, builders will feel it first.
Yeah. Don't they always?
Well, yeah, that's his point. Yeah. Because they have to sell, right? Because they're not in the business of like, they don't have an option. What are they going to do? Keep it empty?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like I said, that one example that I brought, that was the only one. That's the only one that gives me faith that it's coming, because everything else is still nuts. Yeah. You know,
but again, this is the environment to do the work. Sorry, Dion.
Sure.
That's okay. I'm glad you guys brought up the off-market stuff. That's something I kind of want to do the research and do a whole video on, because I've seen an uptick in that too.
Yeah.
But it's it's ridiculously bad deals. They're marketing it off market because they would be embarrassed to put that price on that property on the MLS.
I see that.
And so in the last couple of weeks, I've gotten a bunch of people who found us, watched a live stream or something, got my email, and they're saying, hey, I've got these great, amazing deals. And it's are they finding buyers that just don't know what they're looking at?
For the last couple of years, at least in my market of Fresno, California, there was enough dumb money buying dumb deals. Yes.
Mike, my question for you on that is, are you seeing with those wholesalers, right? So a wholesaler puts the deal under contract.
Yep.
And then they're selling it to somebody else, the contract.
Mm-hmm.
I see some guys getting stuck.
Oh, no. I've already seen 2 deals. There's been a while since a deal went back to the owner where the wholesaler had to back out. I'm starting to see those already. Pricing is changing, folks.
It is.
It is margin, appetite. And again, I talk to non-QM lenders, right? This whole world will be very different in a year.
Right.
The Federal Reserve is destroying demand. Just wait till their first 50 basis point move, which will happen May 3rd and 4th. I mean, this is not only a real estate thing. This will hit the economy. This will hit businesses. Where we had Instacart go from a 39 billion valuation to 24. You don't think that's going to cause employees to bolt because their stock's worth nothing? It's happening.
Something else real quick, Mike, that I was thinking of too is make sure that people are following through on their spreadsheet, not just what stuff is listing for, but what it actually sold for.
Yes, exactly.
This market, the strategy for elite real estate agents, what they will do is they will now underprice the asset because you've got people out there that are at 450. They'll underprice it at 399 and the person will go, but I want 450. And you're like, listen, do you want every set of eyeballs in this market looking at this thing and the people that are under the 400 number?
Yep.
You want everybody looking at this thing that can possibly look at this thing. So our strategy now is either A, we're 3 to 4% below market, or B, we just go, you know what? 10% below market. Let's get it out there. Let's have 90 people on Sunday show up for the open house. And then boom, you get to 430 or 450 anyway. So make sure if you're doing your spreadsheet that you're not just putting in there what people are listing it for, but you're actually showing what the realized sale was. You got to look at that.
Yeah, totally agree. Dion, how can people find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom.
And Matt?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, as well as Instagram and 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And if Sunday's not a good time for you, go watch Dion at 4 o'clock Pacific time on Tuesdays.
Thanks, guys.